Hello everyone. Welcome back to our deep dive into the psychometric tool that brings data to the drama of relationships, the revised Dyadic Adjustment Scale. In part 2, how to use the RDAS, we look at how to administer the tool, how to score it, and how to interpret the results. Then we look at its applications, advantages, and limitations. Finally, we learn about the usage rights and the best way to access the tool. How do you use it? Very simple. The method is self-report, paper-based, or online. The critical clinical tip you must keep in mind is that when assessing couples, both partners must complete the scale independently. This prevents what we call response contamination. We don't want them sharing their answers. The greatest advantage here is the duration. In a busy clinical practice, saving 20 minutes is priceless. At only 14 items, the RDAS takes most people less than 10 minutes to complete, ensuring minimal client fatigue. Scoring. Once the respondents have filled the form and handed them back to you, you can start the scoring. The scoring is straightforward. Items are Likert scored. Assign items 1 to 6, a score of 5 for always agree, 4 for almost always agree, 3 for occasionally agree, 2 for frequently disagree, 1 for almost always disagree, and 0 for always disagree. Assign items 7 to 10, a score of 0 for all the time, 1 for most of the time, 2 for more often than not, 3 for occasionally, 4 for rarely, and 5 for never. Assign item 11 a score of 4 for every day, 3 for almost every day, 2 for occasionally, 1 for rarely, and 0 for never. Assign items 12 to 14 scores of 5 for more often, 4 for once a day, 3 for once or twice a week, 2 for once or twice a month, 1 for less than a month, and 0 for never. Next, we calculate the scores for various dimensions by adding the respective item scores. For decision making, add scores of items 3 and 6. For values, items 1 and 5. For affection, items 2 and 4. For stability, items 7 and 9. For conflict, items 8 and 10. For activities, items 11 and 13. And for discussion, items 12 and 14. Once we have calculated the dimension-wise scores, we can add these to get the subscale scores. For consensus, add the scores for decision making, values, and affection. For satisfaction, add the scores for stability and conflict. For cohesion, add the scores for activities and discussion. Once we have all the subscale scores, we sum them to get total global adjustment score, which ranges from 0 to 69. Remember, the higher the score, the better the adjustment. Now, for the most important number in the whole presentation, the clinical boundary, the dividing line between healthy and needs intervention. 48. A score of 47 or below is a strong data-driven indicator of marital distress. If your couple scores here, the data is telling you they are in the zone that requires your clinical attention. The real power comes from interpreting the profile, not just the total score. The global score is the headline. The subscales are the details. As we have already discussed, a high overall score indicates high relationship satisfaction and stability, and a low overall score indicates significant relationship distress and risk of instability. A high consensus score indicates strong alignment on life goals and daily matters. Low consensus score indicates frequent disagreement on major life values and decisions. A high satisfaction score indicates happiness with the relationship. Conflict is managed well. Low satisfaction score indicates high conflict, regret about the relationship. A high cohesion score indicates active engagement in shared interests and connection. Low score indicates living parallel lives, lack of shared activities. This in-depth profile analysis prevents you from treating everything as a communication problem and allows for precision intervention. So where do we use this tool? Everywhere. The RDAS has a wide range of applications in both research and clinical settings. First, clinical diagnostics. It's an essential intake screener. It validates your client's feelings with objective data and pinpoints exactly where the pain is. Applications include identifying distressed couples and areas for intervention, assessing the severity of marital distress, and identifying specific areas of conflict or dysfunction. Second, outcome monitoring. How do you know if your therapy is working? Re-administer the RDAS. RDAS helps in monitoring the progress of therapy. Watching a client's score climb from 45 to 55 is a powerful motivator for both you and the couple. Third, research. If you read any peer-reviewed article on couple relationships, it's almost guaranteed the RDAS or the DAS is a key outcome variable. It is the gold standard for relationship studies. Examples include identifying predictors of marital satisfaction and stability, examining the impact of specific interventions on relationship quality, comparing the marital adjustment of different populations, study relationship dynamics across cultures and life stages. Advantages and limitations. Let's look at the advantages first. It is efficient, psychometrically robust, and its clear cutoff score makes clinical decision making much easier. However, we have to acknowledge the limitations. Every great tool has its Achilles heel. Like most self-report measures, it is susceptible to social desirability bias. The clients who want to prove they are a good partner, or the ones who refuse to admit things are bad. Also, 14 items can't capture the full richness of couple dynamics. It's a great screening tool, but it should always be supplemented with clinical interviews and observation. Usage rights and access. The RDAS items are published in the seminal 1995 journal article by Busby and others for academic research. You can usually find the items within the article. The link to download the paper is in the presentation. Of course, if you plan to use it commercially in your clinical practice, please always verify the current copyright status and purchase the necessary license or kit to remain ethically compliant. With this, we come to the end of the sessions on RDAS. Before you start using RDAS in research or clinical practice, you may want to try out the RDAS yourself. It's available completely free of cost in our free psychometrics library. For your convenience, the link is in the description below. Thank you. I hope this has given you a clear and actionable understanding of the RDAS. If you have any questions or suggestions, please let us know in the comments below.